I'm Joel.
I'm Laura.
And welcome to another episode of Coffinated.
We're the Newlydeads.
We are the Newlydeads. She usually does the intro, so. Plus, and I'm tired. It's still it's not necessarily early.
It's early.
But it's early for us.
Why? Because Coffinated is a coffee review. Yay.
So we record in the morning, and this is the morning. So, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
So what we'd like to do, I'm going to set this over here for a second, is we will, as we're out and about, find fun little coffees that aren't your typical, Sanka or Folgers or... What?
Sanka?
I don't know. I'm just trying to think of, names people know.
I mean, if you like Sanka, then that's your thing. Then this is not for you. We don't drink Sanka.
Nope. But we look for, small batch, small roast, small...
funky brands.
So whenever she's out and about, or I'm out and about.
Every time I'm out and about, I always buy him a bag of coffee, I feel like.
Even when we're together, she's like, hey, look, they have coffee. Let's get it. Because she knows that I like to try different coffees. And
I'm on a new black coffee only thing, so we're on the same page. I'm starting to...
I like it, a black coffee.
Experiment with things and try to see if I can tell the difference between coffee to coffee. This one smells good. This one, are you going to talk about where we got it from?
Well, I'll let you talk about where we got it from. But the coffee is Galena River Wine and Cheese Coffee Cuvee.
Cuvee.
Cuvee?
Cuvee. Can you see it? That's better. You gotta kind of... Okay. Cuvee. Yeah, I think it smells kind of nutty.
Here, I'll let you.
Bright.
Since you bought it, I'll let you go from there.
So, I went to Galena with my girlfriends, and today...
Although we've gone to Galena
I did smell
together.
like a berry kind of smell. Huh?
I thought, although we've gone to Galena together, too, a couple
times. But I went with my girlfriends, and we were doing like a wine tasting, and I saw this coffee there, and I was like, I'm gonna get this because it says coffee cuvee because it's too early for wine. And I'm actually going to a wine walk today. So I was like, let's start the day with coffee because it's too early for wine.
It is too early for wine.
But it's a light and medium roast, natural process. It says Ethiopia. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing. I'm going to say Guji.
That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah. And medium roast, washed, processed, Guatemala, Huehuetenango. I don't know how to pronounce it.
That was pretty good, actually.
Huehuetenango.
I'd say that's pretty good.
So it says that the flavors are juicy with berry, caramel, toffee, sugarcane, and chocolate.
I don't think I want coffee that defines itself as being juicy.
I do. I want a juicy flavored.
You want a juicy flavored coffee? I want a juicy apple or a juicy grape. I don't want a juicy, I don't know. It just sounds weird.
Nah.
Here.
Sounds good to me.
Here's your juicy French fries.
Yeah, it's got it's berry flavored. So it's got berries, caramel, toffee, sugarcane, and chocolate. And I'm technically only supposed to drink non-flavored coffees, but I think those are just the notes, right? Yeah.
Close to them, so you're all right.
All right.
It doesn't have a lot of very strong, the bag itself, when you smell it's a ground coffee. For these review show, I like to have the beans preferably, but we've been buying stuff ahead of time, and this only came ground. So we still want to try it. It's not like we're going to be snobby about it. But that has a very distinct smell, whereas once it's brewed, I don't get any of those same notes. Agreed. It's just kind of, and I don't think it's the mug. I just think it's I like to do a medium to a coarse ground when I make coffee, because when you do this one had a super fine ground, kind of like Lavazza, which Lavazza is for me is my favorite. The Lavazza Classico is
I like Lavazza also.
Top tier coffee. And their grounds are so fine that it gets grit in the coffee, and you don't want gritty coffee.
No, and I always end up getting the shaft, I feel like, because I always told you fill up yours and then fill mine up with the rest, because I have a bigger travel mug, and so he just does the rest of the pot into mine, and I always have a giant layer of...
As soon as I see any grit coming out, I'll stop, but it's
I don't want to chew my coffee.
It still gets in, but...
Yeah.
So, and these mugs, just because we're trying to do all of our different mugs we have, which some of them are paired, some of them are solo mugs.
So we'll like choose, but we want to try to do as many of the pairs as we possibly can, and then I think we'll just be like, you choose a mug and I choose a mug, and then we'll just talk about our mug.
And then it's going to get crazy up in here.
We got this on, was it on our honeymoon?
Bailey's angry. Yes, because remember we were doing shopping, we were doing Halloween decor hunting.
Yes.
And post-Halloween decor hunting, because Halloween decor hunting starts in July. It's as early as we've seen it, and it goes through until November-ish. I think Shaggy's probably in his way, and he wants to come over here. Oh, maybe he wants to go outside.
Maybe we're going to pause it for a second.
We're back! Did I say it too quick? We're back! I'll say it again. Just real quick before we get into the actual tasting. This was roasted by Galena Roasters, which you can find them at galenawineandcheese.com. That's what it says on here. And so, if you've never been to Galena and you're in this vicinity at all, you should go.
Yeah, it's a really neat little town. They've got a bunch of cool little stores and shops, and
you think some of these towns
for everybody.
It's true. You're kind of like, it's a lot of tchotchkes, and it's a lot of, it's a touristy little spot, and it's like, okay, I don't want to. But if you really take the tour, which you can spend several hours just walking the main street there. Yes, there are the little shops that have touristy stuff because they're a tourist spot. But in between each of those little touristy shops are some really cool little very specific curio shops. There's even a dispensary down there.
Yeah.
In the midst of all of this other stuff.
They've got
it's crazy.
Yeah, metaphysical stores, and they've got
a witchy kind of store.
That's a metaphysical shop.
No, the dark one that had
That's a metaphysical shop.
Well, but then there's the one that has the actual witchy stuff in it.
Those are both called metaphysical stores. Yeah. So there's one that's a dark...
They feel very different.
Kind of dark, bookstore kind of thing. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, where we got the coffee from.
Where they've got, they do ghost tours and stuff like that.
Yeah, and then they also have the crochet stuff in the back.
Yes.
That one.
Yeah,
that one is really... That's one of my favorite shops there.
Yeah, they've got some really neat, art and... Yeah, some cool stuff there.
But then there's the other one that's got it's got some art, but then it's also got a lot of components for tea, and then also for spells and things like that. A little bit more focused. I know you keep saying it, and I don't know. I
herbal shop.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got herbs and candles, and
then they have the actual herb shop down the street, which is funny because there's places you can stay because people will stay there and just do the whole thing for a weekend, and you can go get your cheese and your wine, and then go get your edibles or whatever, and then head down to the tour and just make a whole weekend of it. It's a cool town.
You do need to spend at least a couple days there because there's so many stores and shops and stuff that just one day is just it's
fun.
You rush it. Yeah. If you want to see everything and take your time and enjoy a breakfast or a lunch and then go have a nice dinner, and then they've got some wine bars and stuff you can go to if that's your thing. If you don't want to, in the wintertime, I know that they've got skiing and stuff there.
They have a Halloween parade.
They do have a Halloween parade.
It's huge. It's 50,000 people or something crazy like that. It's a lot of people.
From all over the place.
It's big.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So, to Galena.
Yeah, so we bought these mugs. We were talking about the mugs, I think.
Yes, we bought them at home, I'm fairly certain.
Yes, and it says, happy wife and happy hubby.
And there's a picture of us the morning after we got married. So the morning we woke up, we got married, we woke up the next morning, we had coffee, we sat here with our coffee, and there's a picture of us being all happy and newlyweds.
Yeah.
And we're still happy newlyweds. But
we are.
Anyway, you ready?
So we thought we'd bust these out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so... clink before you drink. That's our new thing.
Oh. I can already see the grit.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Oh, that's smooth.
I tried to put, after the first episode, I tried to use extra grounds this time to give it a little bit more of a kick because I know, she doesn't like it to be super punchy, but I also want to make sure we can actually hit the flavors that are in it, so... I
never taste berry or that kind of stuff. I never get the notes. I don't know how to get the notes. I don't know, like, yeah. You know, unless it's like a specific flavor, like blueberry or like something like they're like blueberry flavored coffee. But this is just a traditional coffee, but
most coffees,
it is smooth.
The notes you get are going to be almost more of a floral thing, like a smell. Floral, not as in flowers, but in like, you know.
Yeah, I don't get a floral.
Your sense, but
I kept saying nutty. Like I felt like a nutty kind of like flavor to it. It's really smooth.
I think coffee by nature is got kind of a chocolatey.
This does have chocolatey
thing to it.
Mm-hmm. Chocolate notes.
Yeah, the darker the coffee, the more that kind of bitter dark chocolate thing happens. So I feel like you have to cut it. I get sometimes the berry sort of things you'll get, like especially like the blueberry ones. You'll get kind of an acidic, and it's more of a smell, I think, that's tricking your mouth into getting the flavors.
Yeah, like I have a peanut butter flavored one from Door County that I really like.
That one always gets you. Like peanut butter, you can, you always hit that flavor. But yeah, when it says here that it's got, all coffees have a little bit of a chocolate thing to it, to me. Sugar cane, well, maybe. Caramel, toffee. I mean, the toffee kind of falls in line with the bitter coffee sort of thing. I mean, toffee's
not bitter.
But I mean, it's got...
Toffee's buttery.
And it's kind of got a very strong...
buttery
flavor. But the berry note, I'm not getting any caramel per se. It smells like it in the bag, but it doesn't really... I'm not getting like that.
I need to get better at this like coffee tasting stuff because this is like our coffee review show.
Yeah,
when I put cream and like some sort of flavoring and stuff, I can always taste it a little bit better because I think that like the fat and the like sweetness kind of like cuts down on some of the bitter, and then I can usually end up tasting some of the flavor of like what it's supposed to be.
I think that's why I like drinking my Fojay with it because it's like a palate it's like a palate cleanser.
Oh yeah.
So that may be something we'll have to think about adding if we do these a little later in the day.
I don't want to add, any creamer and stuff like that, though. Like, I'm trying to just get strict black coffee from now on.
I'm just saying if we did it later in the day, you could have something as a side thing, just as like my Fojay. Which, for those of you who don't know, Fojay is what I call orange soda because it's not orange juice and it's not...
but it's orange flavored.
But it's orange flavored, so it's Fojay. I'll put the word up here so you can see how I spell it. But anyway... it definitely has kind of a the velvety aspect, the smooth aspect that you're talking about. I get that.
I like it. There's no bitter aftertaste. It's not like super acidic to me. Like I could drink this all day and be happy.
I think I'd need it to be hot though.
Mine's
hot. No, I'm saying like I'd need it to be hot to drink it. It's warm right now. It's not like it was the last time we did this where we waited a little too long and the coffee was a little cool. This is actually still fairly hot.
I am very happy with this coffee.
But yeah, this reminds me of when we were on our honeymoon, and the coffee we'd get.
I want to go to Galena again.
Well, you are at some point. I'm sure we will.
Soon.
But like when we were in Gettysburg and there was that little shop that was around the corner.
Yeah.
It reminds me of that a little bit, which that is. My favorite coffee that's not mass produced that you can't get everywhere is Ragged Edge. They have that's an Ethiopian blend.
Maybe that's the thing because this is an Ethiopian blend too.
That's my favorite of like none that you have to get specifically from the Ragged Edge Coffee Company. But so if you look them up online, you can buy a bag for like $20 and have it shipped to you, and trust me, you will not be disappointed. So good. But
maybe
this does
do that again.
Remind me of that. It's not as good as that, in my opinion. Sorry, Galena Roasters. But it is definitely reminiscent of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been on my list to order some.
So...
especially for our anniversary coming up.
Yeah. Do we want to rate? We do it out of Zombeans.
Yep.
Is it out of 10?
It is. Much to my dismay, it is out of 10 Zombeans.
Oh, I think... Oh, yeah, because you have to do all the little beans.
No, I'm doing like what you suggested. I'm using one bean and then putting times however many things. It may play with it a little bit because this is still a new thing for me with this show. But, yeah, definitely compared to last week especially, this is a much better coffee. I don't know if anybody's even getting anything out of our discussion of it because I think we've described it pretty well.
Yeah. I highly recommend it, so I'm going to say I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 Zombeans.
It's so weird trying to think of it in terms of 1 out of 10. I'm going to take one more sip before I make my final judgment. Be careful, don't get too much grit.
No, there's not really that much in my mug. There was just a little bit. And it's par for the course.
Well, I just think about like my mom, either one of them, that when they'll sit and they'll have coffee and it'll just kind of be sitting out. And especially when my mom when I was younger and she was working all the time and she'd have her little styrofoam cups full of coffee. And just all of a sudden she'd just grab one that's been sitting there. And I'm just like, I don't like cold coffee. I mean, it's one thing to have a cold brew coffee, but it's another thing to have coffee that's been sitting out for a couple hours.
I love cold brew.
That's different than having just lukewarm coffee that's been sitting out in
cold brew.
Because then it
doesn't.
Is
the bomb. It's my jam.
All right, what'd you say you gave it?
7. Man, I should have bumped it up a little bit.
What do you mean? You can change it.
No,
I haven't given my thoughts yet.
I'm staying with 7 because like I like it because it's very velvety and very like smooth, almost like it's got cream in it. Like the mouthfeel of it, it's like on the tongue, like it feels like
coats your mouth a little bit.
It feels like it's got cream in it, which is like really happy for somebody who's usually I drink cream
drinker
all the time, but I do intermittent fasting, so I don't eat until later, and if in order to do a clean fast, you can't have anything in your coffee, and you can't have any flavoring in anything, so I love this for that mouthfeel that they've got going on. It's got some sort of something in it that's just making it really creamy and smooth. So that makes me super happy. But it doesn't have a strong flavor either way. So that's why I know I drink all of it. I like it. I'm excited to drink the rest because I've got another half thing in there. Sip on it all day.
Well, as far as my final judgment, I'm thinking a 6. 6 out of 10 is where I'm sitting because it's
pretty good for you.
It's good. It's definitely way better than the first episode. But
yeah,
there's something. Yeah, I think, and it'd be nice if we could get this just whole bean.
Yeah, so you can grind it yourself
and try it that way and see because the grit factor is a little, but that's.
I wonder if we could get something like a cheesecloth or something to pour the coffee through before we, to like strain it one last time or something.
Well, and the other problem with the super fine grit is that with our particular coffee, we have a Ninja coffee maker. It's super nice, but
it's got a little rip in it.
When it first goes, it there's like sometimes it'll puff it, and it will shoot with the steam and whatever it'll shoot like grounds all around the top rim and up on the.
Yeah, it's kind of a flaw of the machine.
Yeah, unless they're like coarser grounds that don't get poofed up. Yeah. So that's the other problem. But anyway.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got something out of that.
Yeah. Visit Galena. It's a cool place. It's in Illinois. It's like actually it's on the border of Illinois, Wisconsin, and Iowa. It's kind of a really neat spot. So, if you're in Iowa, if you're in Wisconsin, or in Illinois, Galena is like a really cool town.
You're not too far from LeClaire. You could go to the American Picker area.
Oh, no, that's down farther. You're thinking...
just go with it.
No, you're thinking of the Quad Cities.
And then you could go down to the New Glarus and go to
That's this direction. You're thinking of all the places now. I think he's thinking of the Quad Cities, which is also a really cool place because the Quad Cities is Iowa and Illinois.
They have DJs there.
They do have DJs. Yes. But, so Galena is the little trifecta. Where can they find us?
I want to go get some food from Galena.
Yeah. They've got really good food.
Yeah.
Like really good food.
So where can they find us?
They can find us at the Newlydeads.com, where you can find our spooper market. We've got all sorts of fun things. If you want a mug with our really cool logo on it, you could, you can get it. There's also t-shirts and hoodies and stickers and
merchandise,
art prints. If you like Mr. Newlydeads art, there's a lot of that on there. Some of mine.
And boo buckets.
Buckets. Yeah, if you like those
buckets.
McDonald's or should I just say fast food?
It's too late now. You've already said it.
I said it.
Now we're gonna get sued.
No, you can just take that word out. Bleep me.
That'd
be really funny. Yeah. So you could go, and he zombified them. So they look like, the Happy Meal bucket or whatever, but they're... but they're zombies.
Yeah,
so... Zombu buckets.
Also, check out our other videos on our YouTube channel.
And we're also on Tingler Television.
That's where I was just headed. She read my mind.
Yes.
You can find us Wednesdays it starts at 6 o'clock.
Central
Time, 7 o'clock Eastern. I had to think about that. With a last week's show, and then starting at 6:30/7:30, you can catch out our brand new episode every Wednesday on Tingler Television. We also have a commercial that is running currently that is something that we designed that will be going through
He's proud of it.
For the next month. And then after that, I'm not sure what's happening with it, if they'll continue to play it, but it's kind of a pseudo contest.
Yeah.
So, if you're watching a channel, make sure you watch that when it comes on. I don't know how that works, but anyway. And yeah, I think that's it. They can also find us on Spoonflower, Instagram, TikTok,
and all of these things
Facebook.
You can find on the Newlydeads.com. If you scroll to the bottom, there's all of our links.
And you can hit us up at contact@thenewlydeads.com if you have questions, comments, concerns.
You just want to say hey.
If you want to find out more about
the
coffee we've been drinking or anything else that we talk about.
Or if you have a recommendation.
Yeah, or you want to send us some coffee that is your personal favorite. Whatever.
Yeah, email us and we'll give you a mailing address.
We need a P.O. box. Don't anybody know where we live. We'll just give them your work address.
Give them your work address.
You could. I'm not ever there. But...
I'm just saying you work here.
Oh, I get it. I work from home. Anyway.
All right. Well, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.
We belong.